Hi, I am Dasha, divorce coach, and today we're going to talk about a very personal and challenging topic, how divorce can really affect and impact our friendships and connections. As we know, a divorce is such a complex process that is very emotional and can take such a toll on us. And during that time, their friendships and the dynamics with the family members can change dramatically. First, let's talk about losing friends during the divorce. And this, unfortunately, is a very common experience because our emotional strain and stress of the divorce can push the friends away. They might feel uncomfortable, unsure of what to say, how to feel, how to communicate with us, how to keep the boundaries, and all of these things. There's so many understandings and miscommunications can happen. And it's a very challenging time to navigate the relationships, whether you're the one going through a divorce or you're a friend trying to support somebody. And I will record another video of the ways that you can support a friend who's going through a divorce. Sometimes we have situations that the lack of communication can bring a lot of weird dynamics in the relationships and the friendships. And sometimes the over communication can bring that as well. Let's take Sarah's story that when she was going through divorce, she felt that a couple of her friends were really pulling back. They did not communicate that with her because they didn't want to hurt her feelings. That's what she found out later on when, after going through the hardest part of the divorce, she had a conversation with them and asked them why you guys are so distant. And they're like, we just don't know how to support you. We don't know how to act. We just don't know, and we didn't have guts to ask because we didn't want to hurt your feelings. And they straightened all of this out and it was all fine. Another example is Linda, who had her friends pulled away and they pulled all the way back. They cut all of the communication with her and she never knew and understood why. I personally lost several friends during the divorce because they just couldn't take all of the emotion and stress that I was experiencing, and probably I did not handle all of that very well. One of them had to tell me, like, hey, this is my boundary. I had my parents go through this. I cannot go through this with you. And she was a very close friend. And another one just pulled back, and I never knew why. I can only speculate why. This is fine. In the retrospect, I honor these friends taking stand for themselves in their own ways and I cannot support you. That's basically what it was all about. And that is fair because there are times that if you're going through a divorce, you really need a lot of support. You really need somebody who's in the trenches with you, who can hold your hand, who can take your call in the middle of the night when you're crying yourself to sleep. With the over communication, friends can pull back as well. And Lisa, she said that she was over communicating with her friend all of the things that went wrong in her marriage, all of the things that her ex been pulling on her during the divorce. And that friend was over communicating and giving all of her opinions. So that was not a healthy dynamic. There was a big overload, and they decided to take a break from all of this because that was just too much. Okay, let's talk about when friends pick sides. If you have mutual friends, it is really, really difficult for them to be unbiased, impartial when you guys are going through a divorce. Being open about it, just like telling them, hey, I understand that you're in between the rock and the hard place. This is okay. You can tell me. And if you want to pick a side, or better, if you don't want to pick a side, if you want to just step away, I will totally respect and understand that. Because when your friend with your picks a side, it feels like a betrayal. And I experienced it myself. It was very, very hurtful. And I felt betrayed. But at the end of the day, in the retrospect, that was good for me. That was not the people I wanted on my team. Because when you're going through divorce, you have a team of people who support you and you gotta let everybody else go. I also experienced when the friends took a side of my ex in a weird way. They were echoing what he was saying, that I wouldn't be able to be on my own, to keep the house, being the main caregiver. So they were echoing what I already was fearing, and that was very, very hurtful. And I had to let go. And I had to set a boundary saying, it's not going to help me. It's not going to help the process. And this woman went through divorce as well. So things like this can be very messy and can lead us feeling blech. So what to do when situations like this arise? Take care of yourself. If no one else takes care of you, if no one else is there for you, you are here for you. You're here for your kids. You're here for yourself. And that's what matters the most. So take a good care of yourself and remind yourself that you can be your biggest friend. And this is why having the professional help people who have your best interest at heart is crucial, because sometimes our friends, they mean well, but at the end of the day, they don't really have our best interest at heart, which is weird to say this, people are our friends, but that happens. And the situations can trigger our friends and bring what they experience through their parents' divorce, through their divorce, and they can project a lot of things at us, which cannot be helpful at all. A friend of mine projected how her divorce went, how she felt miserable and she didn't get what she was hoping for. That again was really difficult for me to keep faith in the process, to believing in myself, to believing in the good outcome. So self-care would be the number one, and finding the outlet, finding hobbies, getting the pet. I rescued a duckling right before my court hearing. And I had to bring this duckling to the office with me. That was something very memorable. Taking care of someone who is in the worst situation that you are can be very helpful. And that gave me the perspective that with everything that I was going through, I could provide shelter, food, and safety for another living thing, for an animal who was in a much worse situation than I was. That said, the divorce can bring some great things as well. Well, first of all, some people who want to leave your life, it's the hardest thing to let go, right? One of the hardest lessons, but the best thing that you can do for them, for you, for your kids, for everybody around. Let these people go, and with a light heart. This is their choice. This is their decision. They probably wouldn't be there for you when the push comes to shove, and you really need to have good support. These people would stab you in the back or leave you high and dry. There's always the reason for these people to leave. Wish them well, send them on their way. Another aspect of changing dynamics in friendship can be a good one, or in the family. For example, I had very strained relationship with my family up until my divorce. I reconnected with my parents. I sorted so many things out, ironed so many wrinkles, and that was the most beautiful thing, that we all came together as a family. They showed up for me like never before. And I have been best friends with my mom since. And then same as with friends. Some people who were acquaintances, but seeing how you go through all of this hardships and stress and making decisions and bring some people in and really strengthen the relationships. Corey went through this when she had a colleague, and they never were friends. They hung out a couple of times, but that colleague really stepped up because she saw something in Corey that resonated with her, and she wanted to help Corey. She really wanted to be there for her. They ended up becoming the best friends. That can happen to you as well. On my walk in the neighborhood, and I was sitting on the bench, and a neighbor came by, and we connected so beautifully. And we were friends during my whole process. She helped me and supported me. And she's like, I had no idea what you were going through. I'm so glad that I saw you, that we were walking on the same path, and that I can be there for you and we can build this friendship. So it can go both ways. Either way, take care of yourself. Friendships are important, of course. The family dynamics are important. And your goal is to find the support system to help you go through this very, very challenging time of your life. And then you can be there for them, because the chances are you will be the one taking help, receiving help. And if you're a very empathetic person as a giver, you have a tendency to give more than you take. And now is the time for you to learn how to accept gracefully help and friendships and how to let go. All of those big life lessons. And it's one of very many lessons that we can learn through this transformational life event as a divorce. Please leave me a comment down below if you experienced any shifts in your friendships, and if you're willing to share stories, I would love to hear them. And please like and subscribe. I have more videos that you can watch, more videos to come. Let's hang out together. And remember, you're stronger than you think. You can do it. You can go through this process with or without friends. You can do it.